Okay, so we're going to start with doing the actual quadratic formula. Now the formula looks a little aggressive and it's all right here, but you just have to remember that you're only filling in for A, B, and C. So there's 2 places to fill in for B, there's 2 places to fill in for A, and there's only 1 place to fill in for C. Once you fill those in, this becomes a calculator-based problem. So you only really have to identify what A, B, and C are, and then plug them in, and then I'll show you how to calculate it on the calculator. The first thing you need to know is that all quadratics have to be set equal to 0 before you can use this formula. And in number 1, they already are. This whole thing is set equal to 0. The a value is always the number that's attached to the x squared. So our a value is going to be -6. The b value is always attached to the x. So our b term is going to be +3. And the c value is always the constant at the end equal to 0, and the constant does not have a variable. So my c value in this case is +13. Notice I circled the sign along with the number, and that will help me to substitute it into my formula a little better. The next step is actually plugging the numbers in. So what you want to do is you want to recopy all of the standard stuff, like the x equals and the negative, and I'm going to put b into this spot, and the b is a +3, so 3 goes here. Then plus or minus goes right on top of each other like that, square root, and then I'm going to substitute b in again. The squared is standard, -4, and now it's time for me to identify the a, and the a is -6, so the a is going to go here. The c goes next to it. Let me extend this out a little bit more. And that's all over. Like this whole entire thing is over 2 times whatever your a value is, and our a value is -6 again. So legit, all you had to do was put the b in 2 places, put the a in 2 places, and put the c in 1 spot. Now that we did this, all we have to do is calculate, and this is where it's going to be important that you follow along the calculator steps. We're going to turn this into a 3 calculator party. So the first thing you're going to calculate is this guy. You don't really need a calculator for it. You're just going to do the negative and then whatever that value is. So that value is -3. That's the first one. The second thing we're going to calculate is everything under the square root exactly as it's written. So on my calculator, let me turn this off. I don't know if that'll work. We'll see. We're going to do parentheses 3 squared. Look at, I'm doing exactly what's here. -4 parentheses, -6 parentheses, parentheses, 13 parentheses. I'm not using the square root. I just want to crunch these numbers and see what they are. And what I get is 321. So 3 squared -4 times -6 times 13 gives us 321. So when I go to write this plus or minus square root, I only need to put 321 there. So that shrinks all this mess down to that guy. And then our last one that we're going to calculate is the bottom, and that's 2 times -6, which is -12. So again, calculate the outside, calculate under the radical, and then calculate the bottom. And that gives you this right here. From here, all you have to do is split it into 2 parts. We're going to have the part where we do the plus sign, and then the part where we do the minus sign. So in this problem, x is equal to -3 plus the square root of 321. And this is going to be -3 minus the square root of 321. That's the part that we're going to do. So this is just working on the top. Negative 3 plus square root 321. That gives us this value. So 14.916. We'll go out 4 places. Boom. And that's divided by negative 12. And now we're going to do negative 3 minus square root of 321. And that gives us negative 20.916. That'll be a 5. And that's over negative 12. So this calculates the top of the first one. This calculates the bottom of the bottom of the top one. And then you would divide by negative 12 and get your answers. Now I'm just dividing. Let me go over here. 14.9164 divided by negative 12. And we'll round to the hundredths place. So negative 1.24 and negative 20.9165 divided by negative 12. 1.74. These are my answers. So as you can see, you can't really solve this by factoring because you wouldn't know to use these numbers as factors. So this is our way of solving quadratics when it's not factorable. You also can't use square root method because there's an x term in it. So this is how you know when you can't factor it, you would go right and do quadratic formula. So now that we've gone through 1, you're going to go ahead and we're going to work toward number 2.